Titties.
Titties. I know. We all want that. All right, here's the deal. You're going to spawn here. The boats we came in got airstruck, so don't bother trying to use them because they are destroyed. Your job, only if you're a squad leader. So this is for the squad leaders only. Your job is to take out these AA positions. There's 2 Lance batteries up here in the industrial complex, and there's like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Scythe AA or AAA batteries over at the airfield itself. The airfield itself is going to have Pelicans on it, as well as other aircraft. For every helipad there represents a, what is it, a Hornet. But however, most of them are going to be empty because you've blown up most of their Hornets. But any remaining Hornets that I still have had in this campaign are going to be there. So I would highly recommend you find something to blow up these AA and AAA positions, which are going to be, best way I can equate it is Halo Wars. So if you've played Halo Wars, those turrets you can build on the fire bases, that's what they look like. Lance missile batteries are literally like these towers with missile pods on them. The Scythe AA is literally just a tower with a 20mm AA cannon on it. I would not recommend you steal aircraft today, because as soon as you do, these things are going to shoot at you. I would not recommend it. I've also coded them only to shoot at aircraft. So, I mean, if you didn't blow them all up, you'll quickly find out if you didn't. Otherwise, Camp Chimera is active. You might want to go there first to, you know, get some vehicles, get some other gear, yada-da. But otherwise, I then recommend the industrial complex and the airbase itself. But you can technically do this in any order. You can also try to just grab the aircraft and fly away, but it's not going to work. Otherwise, that's all I have. Squad leaders, any questions?
What about that dockyard area? Do we know anything about that?
That is just an extra enemy position. If you notice, it is on the way to the final area. You might want to consider going in there if you think you need anything from there. Otherwise, you can bypass it. It is entirely up to you. Again, only squad leaders have maps right now. You'll see all of this if you have a kit to load for a map, or you can kill someone and get their map. Enemy, not friendly, you goobers.
Yeah.
Aww. Alright, squad leaders, any other questions?
Is there anything in New Delphi or?
No, because that's the AO you came from. So that fancy bridge is just a regular bridge again for frames. New Delphi, you disabled a bunch of missile sites there, so don't worry about that. Alright, again, good luck, have fun. It's one life, don't die. Good luck. Alright, most of them are away, so I only have AI pre-garrisoned right now. I've got all my patrols in the debug corner on the left. If you want to jump through things rapidly, you can just click on something, hit the space bar, and it should center your camera.
Neat.
No, wait, spacebar is when people ping you. No, it's the F key, my bad. Yep. So I use that to jump back and forth between the map, because if you put your camera over things, then it renders them, and then it's permanently rendered, and that can mess with your frames in the long run. So we'll just let them take this camp after they've taken it. I will put some stuff down to come from the industrial post, spawn some dynamic patrols around there. I've already set up the global skill level. I generally these days like to do standby. About a 90% in general. Aim accuracy and shake, usually 5% or below. Speed, I keep at 50%. Command and encourage, I keep around 90. Spotting distance, spotting speed, and reload speed, I've kept at 50 for this. Everything, yes. If I wanted the AI to engage at longer ranges, I'd increase their spotting coefficients. But otherwise, that is that. I'm going to put a quick guy in that aircraft just to pull it away. Mainly because I don't want them to be tempted by using it, because in order to make the scythe turrets work, I had to take their ammo out, because otherwise they will shoot at infantry and vehicles, and those things are absolutely overpowered. So I'm only going to use them if I absolutely need to, and just RC them only, so.
No, I get you.
Yeah, and they immediately shoot it down. Gives them a nice little dynamic thing. They did talk to me about extra medical, because the previous mission, they had to burn through a lot of their medical. So if you notice, there's a medic in there with some medical stuff. That box right there is actually an inventory that has a shit ton of additional medical in there as well. So I try to tailor everything to the players, but you know, you can see that they already have had a few casualties. Gray's down, Liberator's down, he woke back up, Zephyr's is down. Usually when they're purple, it also means their heart has stopped, but sometimes it can get restarted as well. So this is just meant to be like a little tease of an AO to, you know, get their foot in the door. I always like to warm them up with something like this to get them started. I'm going to cut comms until I deal with Katarino, so give me a second. So I'm walking Devil Demon through one of his intros. What we do in this community is when we have new Zeuses, we train them. And we basically teach them how we do things, what we do, and how we do it, yada da. So this is him going through a session with me because he requested one.
The Charlie, my boss, are calling area clear. We have at least 2 minigun Warthogs and 1 APC.
So they're going through everything. Katarino, I don't know why, but his computer just doesn't handle this map really well. I think it's because he has hyper-threading on, because I had that same issue. I was crashing all the time on this map, but if you uncheck hyper-threading, your map seems to treat this a lot better. But now you see some of them are gravitating around that medical position. Hopefully they will tell each other where that medical is so they can quickly get a big amount of resupply. I'm sending a squad from the forest down to the south. As they're doing that, I'm also going to go to the industrial position. I have hotkeyed a squad worth of dudes. If you jump to my other position, you'll see that I've got all of those units as like a debug template, and then a 3-man rifle team, a fire team, an AT team, a medical team, and a full-on squad, as well as any and all the vehicles I could use, as well as an extra copy of the infantry, which I can go ahead and delete. But now I'm just going to spawn like probably 3 or 4 squads in the town. Again, we're not making this too difficult, but what I'll also probably do is crew a few Warthogs and spawn them around as well. Again, the whole point with something like this, though, is we're just trying to dynamically have infantry to fight in these towns, but, you know, let the AI do a lot of the work, because the way I've neutered lambs a little bit is even though when I need lambs AI to get to somewhere, they don't generally get there, but for CQC and stuff, that's where they're superior, so I want to let the AI do the work, really minimize my remote controlling unless I absolutely have to. Also, just for the hell of, you know, people think I'm the one shooting at them in the RC, when in reality it's them just fighting the AI. But give them that illusion, because, well, for them it's, they like it when they think they've killed me, so give them a little ego boost or some bullshit, I don't know.
This is Bravo. We have
I'm interested to see, it looks like they're leaving the Warthogs behind them for some reason.
I mean, that's their choice. With this type of campaign where it's kind of an open world, they make their own decisions, they can do whatever they want, but I mean, that is an interesting choice. I will say, though, that in the past, their vehicles have been heavily dicked down sometimes, but... And you just heard that over 50. Yep, see, they're talking about how they just immediately get dicked by air, which is why they don't want to touch them. And again, that's their choice, because I could at any time throw a Hornet up in there, and that Hornet will lock on to that Vic from an extremely far range. So, when they get closer, if they hit the break... If they hit the harbor area, I mean, there's 2 AA Warthogs and an MLRS Vic there as well. I mean, they could use those if they want to, but again, it's entirely their choice. Technically, with this other AO, the one they're going next with the missile pods, they could just have AT guys literally snipe them from ranged and move on, or they can go in and fight. It, again, gives them the choice. But, you know, it's ultimately just how I like to do these operations myself, really.
It helps well by having it so general. No matter what the players do, you can react.
Yeah, Panda.
Trying to railroad them down a certain path.
Yeah. So I mean, look at the front of the fob. They already flipped one of the damn Warthogs because I don't even know what the hell they did, to be honest. But yeah. What's nice about the UNSC stuff is they can hit the spacebar to auto flip it, but if they still can't get it, I'll probably just do it myself. You know.
Yeah.
So if you drag it up slightly and hit the X key, it auto-rotates the Vic back to where it's supposed to be on the plane, you know, upside down or wherever, depending on how they flipped it. But you want to lift it a little bit, because sometimes you just select the vehicle and hit the X key. the server just won't detect the input. Like, you'll see it actually do the action, but then it'll reset itself back to upside down, so you gotta lift it up a little bit. But you gotta be careful, because some Vics, if you don't lift it up enough, when you flip it, it still armas itself into the ground and actually blows itself up, so you just gotta be careful. Also, be careful about your surroundings, because when it resets it, it's as if, instead of dynamically turning the Vic, it just kind of resets it in a single action, which means if you are in a tight corridor and you do it, it might reset it, but put it partially in a wall, and then it blows up. So, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let me see what Clone wants. I'll wait till I start seeing him move around. But yeah, this is just part of the stuff you got to juggle here, so.
Oh, you have the medic here. Why are you using medic on that?
One thing I also want you to keep aware for, because we've been getting hit by DOS attacks, if you start seeing all the players running in place and shit, let me know ASAP so I can put that on side chat and we can just have a hold here, so.
Hey, firm.
But yeah, no, Panda, this is just how we train the Zeuses. They don't touch anything unless we tell them to, but even then, we're not supposed to tell them to touch anything. They're just here to simply observe, and we go through everything that we do. And that's basically... It still gives them... Like, we don't tell them how to do anything. We don't let them really touch anything unless, again, we say so. But that allows them to develop their own Zeus style based off of seeing how many other Zeuses they decide to attend. Usually, I think we require 3 or 4 Zeuses that they have to watch. But that lets them develop their own Zeus style because every Zeus has their own unique way of doing things. Hey, Clone, you got your shit? You ready? Okay, you do need a working mic in this community, but I'll let your squad deal with that, so, you know. And I just realized my button's on. That was the wrong button.
This is squad leader 4, Delta.
There it is, okay. Audio, no, controls, configure add-ons, T4. Because my controls reset, so I have to get rid of that button and then the Y
Charlie,
button.
we will continue along the main road. We will not drive through the forest due to the danger of armoring our vehicle.
Yeah, should be good. Yeah, so 1 or 2 squads. Usually Karn squad is very defensive. Describe. Wrong net, my bad. Shut up. No, I was giving you a comment. I was going to say, usually Karn squad is more defensive, which is why they didn't touch the vehicles, and then the other squad that took it out. I'm explaining him the logic, damn it. It wasn't meant as an insult. It was a misinput. It was a misinput.
I want to hear the entire thing. Say it all over there.
This is Delta Squad Leader. Why did you leave me behind?
I don't know. Why do you...
Clone, you just checked in because I teleported you in and you were having mic issues. You can walk. They're literally 20 meters in front of you.
No, the vehicle... I was about to enter the vehicle, but they drove off without me.
That's a skill issue.
So as you can see, we have fun here, Devil. But you've been here forever. You know the shenanigans that happen on my ops.
Yeah, nice.
That marker ship is...
Karen just looking for that bit of praise.
Yeah, right.
Copy that. Bravo is roughly 50 meters behind you.
Alright, so I'm going to have one squad going through the forest, another one stick to the road. I'll probably have a warthog behind the other squad as well, just as a little bit of a local fire support piece. Again, just to see what they do in that open environment. The real fight is going to be on that airfield, because that's where a lot of the objectives are. That's when we'll start getting the air assets up in the air. It's going to be a bit of a meat grinder, but again, we'll see how they handle it. Excuse me. How would I describe my own Zeus style? The thing about it is it's constantly changing as I constantly tune it. I used to be very heavy into remote controlling, focusing on that aspect of the player base to give them a bit more of a challenge, because my players stated to me that they wanted that challenge. However, that player base in my main community doesn't really play anymore, so I've had to constantly adapt my style as well for whichever community is actually playing.
Buggy, run and jump.
Yeah, the risk with that, though, is if you mistime it or improperly time it, then you're going to accidentally Arma yourself, which can be quite hilarious. And then sometimes they beg for an ace heal, and I just laugh at them and tell them no. But I'd say my style right now is a lot more just letting the AI do the work, only remote controlling the AI if I need to do something in debug.
That was great.
This is Bravo. Are you guys good?
Yep. So the Warthog's pushed up. You just had the oh.
Never mind.
I was watching Karen. He literally said they're gonna
That's why you drive through the forest.
Yeah. Now you hear Karn. See, we've already boosted his ego, and that's gonna further boost his ego. And now the Warthogs are just. This is a problem with the Warthog assets. If they take damage, then they have like a delayed cook-off. It's really weird.
There's superiority.
And I'm glad I didn't go in that vehicle.
Ah.
But most of them should be okay. They're gonna have to get Chabokas out of that Vic. Oh, he just disconnected. Never mind.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I have to teach my people apparently how to use vehicles.
But the whole reason they got hit was there was an AT guy in that squad coming up the MSR, and it shot at them, and the rounds detonated near the Vic, so.
Yep.
If the Warthogs, like in any IFV, they're supposed to be utilized with the squad, but as a support weapon. So, you know, having them charge up ahead of everything else isn't really going to do them any favors, and people just haven't learned that yet over a few years, so. We just keep dealing the lesson.
Same as Russian IFVs need an infantry screen in front to
help.
save.
The only exception is tanks, because tanks overpressure, so those need to be as their own asset somewhere, so. But yeah, no, I'd say mine is a lot more laissez-faire these days. But it depends on the scenario and it depends on the community. I often dynamically change my Zeusing style depending on where I am. So in Pog, I'm a lot more aggressive, but I'm a lot more memey. Here, I'm a lot more balanced, I would say.
Alpha could need some help here.
And,
can push.
Copy that, Alpha. Bravo is coming close here.
The 506, I'm a lot more pandering. And I'm a lot less aggressive. I'd say I'm the least aggressive in that one community. Hobo just got shot multiple times. Do I have a job outside of YouTube and Twitch? So I will say last year I still did a little bit of freelancing contracting work with some cyber stuff, but I haven't had to touch that. I want to say ever since, I want to say a month before I moved into the house, actually. So that was last April? No, last May. So, no.
Just pull back.
Not at the moment. Yeah, so one of the slight issues I've noticed with lambs is they will shoot through bushes. Vanilla AI don't really do that anymore, but lambs, because of how lamb suppression and all this other stuff works, they will fire through, but at that point, instead of claiming that the AI, you know, can see you through it, you can just state it's lamb suppression and the player base has to deal with it accordingly. Same with smoke grenades. It's just a matter of the AI will just shoot in the general direction. They're not actually shooting at the players, but if the players start moving around behind the bush, then they'll actually start getting hit and whatnot. So that's just a complaint you'll see from time to time.
Got you.
All right, I'm going to try to pull that Warthog back because the gunner got killed. So usually in order to force him to move with lambs, you got to give him a careless hold fire order by switching his thing and then giving him smaller waypoints. Hold left control and you can just branch waypoints together. But sometimes the AI doesn't react quick enough and they get shot, but here you can see they're going to be able to get away and whatnot. I will say, with lambs, it is a gigantic pain in the ass to micro the AI, and then even still, you know, he's just stuck now. Like, he has a driver waypoint because I think his gunner slot died, but it takes a second for lambs to actually follow your orders because of how lambs changes how AI behave. The simplest way to explain it is if you spawn a squad of AI down in the Eden editor, the server has control of that AI, not your Zeus client. So your orders get bottlenecked through the server and there's a delay. Whereas if you spawn it through your Zeus client, there's no delay because the orders instantaneously go through the AI. Lambs acts as the server and basically takes ownership on the server for any AI to control, which is why there's a delay. Also, one of the reasons why I hate AI mods is because they do that so they can have control of the AI to run all their scripts.
Alpha will be with you in a couple of minutes.
Okay, yeah.
Yep, it's my personal opinion that the best AI mod is like a heavily gutted version of Ecom AI because you can gut it to a level where the AI won't follow any of the scripted orders. in it, but they'll still have like the internal scripts to do like CQC, breach buildings, all that fun stuff. And then as a Zeus, you can just dynamically order AI to do anything. I mean, even without VCOM, you can still order AI to breach buildings or go to certain areas, because with vanilla AI, they're very direct with everything. The one issue, though, is if you ever give your player-based aircraft, AI will always neuter themselves when it comes to aircraft, because they'll always go into a mode where they basically try to hide from the aircraft and they won't move. And that's only if they, like, sometimes if they don't even see the aircraft, if they only detect it, for example, it'll really slow them down when they try to reinforce. And that's just something you have to deal with. What I usually do is I'll just respawn the AI if they're not seen and push them in accordingly.
I got you.
So we still have 2 AI back at that previous base from that first squad that came. I'm just going to delete them for the sake of frames. And I'm just watching the players right now. If you also notice, we have a mod that shows the client-side FPS.
Yeah.
My personal thoughts about it are it's really easy to judge how the server's doing because you, as a Zeus, will feel it first because you have everything rendered on a bird's eye view. And if you're feeling it's framey, then, you know, cut back. Delete bodies. Only delete them in chunks, though. If you delete too much at the same time, you will desync the server out because that is the process to all the clients. Which is why when I do MCOs, for example, with like, 90, 100 players, I only delete them in groups of like 10 at most. Because if I delete 20 at once, for whatever reason, it just makes the server have a heart attack. So delete them in chunks. Any AI that they've moved past that you don't feel like utilizing again, just delete them. And even if you do want to utilize them again, just delete them and then keep track of where they should be after a certain amount of time passes, which you're only going to get that information after using the AI for a while and just seeing on average how quickly they move. And then you can respawn them again when you need them. Whatever you can do to minimize the amount of server resources being utilized so everyone has better frames is what you should be focusing on as a Zeus, because your #1 priority is to make sure these guys have a good time. That is it. That is, regardless of what anyone says, that is your main job.
Got ya.
Yeah, so I could probably spawn another 1 or 2 squads. I'm going to wait on that, though, until they start actually breaching the facility. And then we'll see what else I can send. I want to get that Warthog a little deeper in the compound before I delete it, so I can potentially use it later. Otherwise, I mean, we have some Warthogs in the actual airbase. We can claim that they just drove it back and parked it there, so.
Copy, we are sending our Warthog in now.
Yeah.
Alright, so they've moved past that squad in the forest. I'm going to delete all those bodies, and, now they're breaching, and we'll have some nice CQC.
Thank you.
Falcon, how's your vacation?
Oh, that's,
Those are the fucking, okay.
Yeah, so they've just spotted them, and you can see they've turned their heads to look at them, but they're programmed similar to the Praetorian AI. The vanilla, it's not the Praetorian, it's the actual vanilla NATO, the statics that belong to the ships.
Oh, yeah.
They're programmed like that, so the AA versions will only fire at aircraft, but again, the Praetorian one, it'll either only fire at vehicles and aircraft or vehicles, infantry, and aircraft. It just depends. What I've found is a lot of the weaponry is, it's actually coded on the weapon turret type itself, not the actual vehicle. That's how I'm able to rescript Praetorian sometimes to fire at infantry. It's because I changed their weapon type to fire, like the vanilla 20mm from the Blackfish. But yeah, no, so you got Blue 4 now breaching in. They're in a bit of a CQC situation here, and I'll respawn another squad deeper in the facility to come after them in a second. So I think Sam was mispainting me there because he's on the front line. He's not really, not in a position that looks like he's in any sort of trouble. So sometimes players will mispaint you. If they're nice, they'll tell you that that was an accident, but generally you'll be able to tell if they ping you. Just hit the spacebar, that'll bring you automatically to the person that pinged. You also hear the piano note, but based off of what's going on, like, they'll be stuck in a rock or they'll be unconscious, and they're usually like then typing something to then speak over things.
Yeah.
One more thing I want to bring up, if I had an average of
your Warthog is doing some interesting things.
Oh yeah, there's not much I can... Usually I just let that happen. That's just the AI being AI. I could remote control to fix it. I mean, the gunner's already dead.
To the one wall.
Yeah, so I remote controlled it. I tried to fix it. He actually has that thing, like, perfectly wedged in there. So I'm just going to have the AI get out because it's unfixable. If the players didn't have line of sight on it, I'd drag it out and move it, because whatever they don't see technically doesn't exist. Hold on. Yeah?
Whoever made these buildings is pretty fucking retarded.
Well, you'd have to take that up with the Optrade dev team. Is it because when you get on the ladders, you go inverted on the ladders, or?
Yeah, on 2 of them.
Yeah, again, you're gonna have to take that up with them.
I know, it's fine.
But technically, anything that the player base doesn't see doesn't exist to them, so you can do whatever you want as long as it logically makes sense. So technically, you could spawn an AI squad behind them, but how would that AI squad have gotten there? You know what I mean? It's the logic behind that. Now, if you were doing something like sci-fi-ish, like Shadow Men, you know, that can teleport around, then it would make sense. But you gotta kind of treat the player base in this case like actual adults, you know, and they can figure things out. But on other aspects, treat them like children. And oh my god. The AA defense actually just shot out one of the warthogs. Okay, that... It's funny, because that's another note. I tested these. I put literally 20 Blue 4 warthogs unarmed next to them, and the AI Vix did nothing. But here we are at the player base, and they just shot and destroyed one of the warthogs. So I don't know. I don't know. It's just... Sometimes the AI is like, hey, cool, the player base is doing it. Let's shoot them. But when you test it, nothing. Just part of this damn game. You can test something 1,000,000 times, and then the 1,000,001st time, it'll just
send in Go
break.
Team 6 now.
Drunk Firebear, thanks for giving a sub to Surrect. I hope you both keep enjoying the operations. I hope you do get a nice kick out of this. Sorry I'm not focusing on you guys. I gotta focus on Devil here. Just for training him. AI said, yeah, not a threat. Yeah, something like that. You were thinking San Diego or even northern San Diego County as Camp Pendleton? For what, Kuya?
Alright, people, we don't have to go through this fucking city. We can stay on the outskirts and push to the fucking place we need to go to.
Yeah, so it looks like they put some explosive charges on those turrets there. So they've got that set.
Alright.
Alright, those are down.
2 down, 2 to go.
God, spacing.
When did I start YouTube? 2016, June.
Healed up, and then we can get ready to move.
Northern side. Direct container.
I need to do something for my 6-year anniversary. I need to do something for my birthday on Wednesday. There's a lot of things I need to do, but I've been too busy with so many other things. We're not doing a CH-47 full of Marines. Stop it. Bad Falcon. Oh, because you're seeing a full... Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay, my bad. Misread that conversation.
That way, their medics down.
Keep enjoying your vacation, Falcon. We'll see you in a bit. I know. I'm a numpty. I'm dealing with so many different little things.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
So yeah, occasionally I will remote control a unit, just fire at or around the players for the hell of it, you know? Especially if an AI is just stuck on a corner not doing anything. Another quick thing that, you know about the TFAR bug and why you have to wait a few seconds before you queue up a different radio, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. Don't have to explain that then. To chat, I will explain it to you. I can't go instantly from one radio net to another because TeamSpeak doesn't catch up as quick. I have to wait like about 2 to 3 seconds before I go to a different net. Otherwise, the game thinks I'm still on the previous net, and I will broadcast everything on the wrong net. And that's really important to note because I don't want to, get into another conversation where I'm trying to tell Devil, aka the Zeus I'm training, something, and then accidentally tell it to the player base so they can metagame, because that would be bad. Raid Falcon on DayZ. I mean, Arcalis already raided his base, or I guess his cache, technically. It's by definition not a base, because bases you can't legally make in towns, but, you know.
Yeah, we're good. Push across the open air. We can go. We can start going up.
Let's give him a warm welcome, shall we? Oh yeah, another thing I want to mention, if you notice every time I spawn a squad, there's a half second of desync where everything holds in place and then immediately bounces back. That's because how I spawn things with Control-Shift-C, Control-Shift-V copies the kits of the units. However, I never recommend, when you have more than 40 players on, do not spawn stuff in with more than 8 players. Only do 8-man squads instead of 10-man squads because I'm using 10-man squads. Below 40 players, it's fine because the desync isn't too bad. Because that desync is basically the server catching up with the fact that you just spawn 10 people with 10 custom kits, and then that gets reflected on the players as well. So the more players that get put on, the bigger that load is going to be. And then if you have more than 60 players, I'd recommend only keeping it to 6-man squads. And if you have 80 players, I'd recommend only... I still do 6-man squads, but I try to do only 5 or 4.
Yeah, I get it.
Because at that point, you're just balancing all the server resources with how many people you have attending. And, you know, the more people that attend, the less resources you have, and the more you have to balance everything for accordingly.
I suppose it slightly depends as well as to what the player base are doing at the time. If they're just moving, a bigger squad wouldn't be as bad. A little bit of a lag spike.
Yeah. Also depends on what map you're using. If you're using one with a lot of the rocks, you know, the vanilla rocks, because the rocks are notorious because they have a really high polygon count. So that has to render in for everyone, which is one of the biggest eaters for frames.
We might actually lose with the
they can get up on this roof.
On that other building, they should be, because they got on the other one and it's the same exact building. They just have to get up the ladder and then enhance movement out.
They used the building beside it.
Oh, did they? Yeah, no, I'm seeing it because it's all glassed out, so they're going to have to use their AT to blow it up then. And they already have one guy locking the AT on, so yeah, it should be fine. Oh yeah, fun fact, this is a cheat I always like to use. Tall grass or elephant grass, especially in Vietnam, that's the easiest way to spawn forces right on top of the infantry. Again, not right on top, but, you know, within like 50 meters. That way you don't have to deal with their pathfinding. But, you know, they dynamically come in, and then you can just claim tunnels. You know what I mean? So they had one AT loaded, Karn blew up one, now they're going to blow the other one. And that was Sam, and there we go, the other one. So it's like 2 rockets per.
Shit's dead. Let's go south.
Alright, I forgot to delete that Warthog there. They don't have a visual on that, so that's fine. I'm going to spawn another squad on the outskirts here, put it on patrol. You know a patrol hotkey, right? You just hold left click. You can give orders, and then if you hold left control, it's not left click, left control and alt, then you get the cycle waypoint, and that's how you make patrols.
Yep.
Player base is doing a pretty good job steamrolling it right now. We're not hearing a lot of communications on 5-0, which indicates that the squads are just kind of outperforming the AI at this level. I've been seeing them take their hits accordingly, but, you know, break. The one time they got into a little bit of trouble in that forest back to the southwest, they immediately called for another squad to come and assist, but they made it kind of a general order. That's because, you know, in TSB, people don't really command with each other. It's more of just swarm tactics and individual skill. So you got to coordinate the ops accordingly with that, but... So far, so good. I know for the previous mission we did last week in Delphi, I gave them some hints on how to do that operation because I know that's how they play. And even then, you had some people kind of run off on their own and get immediately dicked. So I don't think we're going to have that much of an issue on the airfield today because it forces them into really tight corridors. But Delphi, for example, that AO was all just massive town CQC, and people obviously ran off on their own and shit.
To the forest and then going to either the harbor or
TSB.
Typical TSB.
Actually, we'll have to go through the...
That's the joy of a one life op, though, is if you can get the balance right for what they're doing and what they're fighting, it's really fun to just watch them get whittled down, in my opinion. And then seeing how they slowly resort to, you know, starting to talk to each other and actually utilizing tactics because they realize if they don't, they're all going to die.
Are these walls destructible?
Yes.
The big ones?
Righto, Denzu. Hope you keep enjoying them. Thanks for the 200 bits.
No, about the big ones.
And then there's the chaos with pay for pain. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Alright, all of the objectives in this fucking town are done. Get south, we're leaving. Or do you want to wait for air again?
Alright guys, get ready to move out.
If you want
Karen has some PTSD from all the airstrikes.
Yeah, you're telling me.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if you ever take them out, tell me so I can restock.
Yes.
Thanks.
I got 2 more mags for you if you want.
Yeah, can I get a pack?
Do I use Covenant models? Yes, I have some. I just don't use them. Simply because I don't feel like it. Last time I did some stuff with Covenant, though, some of the mods broke and the AI were invincible, and it kind of ruined the whole point of the op, and I'm just like, I don't feel like dealing with this, and that was like 2 months ago.
To the compound to the southeast. Over.
We need to
So I just
probably go there.
don't feel like dealing with it.
So it's fine. Just go east and then we go
I can also
south
have
with
some
it.
Covenant models made. I have some Flood models made, actually. I still have to use them. So I'm thinking next week I'll do something. I was going to do something with them Wednesday, but
It shouldn't matter.
I have a friend
I've
coming
marked
over
the
from
route.
across the pond from
Everyone
Britain.
follow it. We'll wait for
And
you
he's staying the
to
week, so I want to
engage
chill with him because I haven't
somewhere
seen him since high
behind
school. That's been like 6 years. But we'll just, do it next week. But yeah, no, we'll get those Flood models tested and then publicly released, hopefully, I want to say by May? The original plan was to have them done in, like, early February and released, like, early March, but, no. Yeah, no, like, end of February, early March, but clearly that's been blown past, so.
Map, or can we steal it?
I just watched Slushy point at a frickin' digger and ask if he could steal it. So he's now gonna run up and try to take it. That's cute. Oh, and he just said, "God damn it," because he couldn't take it. How adorable. But yeah, I mean, Matt,
Scully's trying to free the stuck warthog.
Yeah, I tried to and I couldn't, but that thing's literally lodged in there.
Gun and physics. Is it not?
Yeah,
If it works, he's gonna go into orbit. So watch this. I'm gonna X key it just to see what happens. See how it's desyncing like that? I suppose you don't see it on your end. But yeah, no, that thing, if I reset it, I mean, it's actually in the stairwell, so. I'm gonna be nice.
Okay, that worked.
Because here's the thing, if I don't give it to them, then they're going to be like, 300, 400 meters behind the rest of the infantry. If I do give it to them, I'll be honest, there's like a 50-50 that they're going to get blown up anyway, so it works out either way.
Yeah.
One of the things I've noticed with TSB is, even if I don't want to, I have to make sure their cohesion's somewhat good, because if they lose that, they're going to die.
This is Bravo, we still have 2 guys in the facility.
This is Charlie, we have left the facility and are near Alpha position right now.
Xham, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. I hope you keep enjoying the operations. I do hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario.
He was killed.
Okay.
Oh, that's a rocket without the tube on it. You should do a Halo Stargate crossover up. I've actually thought about it, Wiley. It's just, with anything Stargate, I need to keep the player count low because otherwise the gate system breaks. But if I don't use the gate system, then it should be okay. But let's be honest, UNSC weaponry would overpower Stargate weaponry every time. The respected viewers on my Discord are some old friends, VIPs, just people that kind of helped me in the beginning, and I respect that help by giving them that custom role, so people know who were with me in the beginning. Watching your content, finally have a chance to catch your stream, keep on keeping on, and drink my damn water. I have a glass of water right here I've been sipping on. Every stream I do it. I keep hydrated, man. That's important. But I think the next Stargate thing I want to do is a Cold War crossover. and make it like a joint US and USSR project with 2 4-man SG teams, similar to that one episode in the series where they did have a Russian SG team, but you know, like start with that going. And yeah, most UNSC weapons are like 7.62 and above, you know? So it's other than the SMG, but yeah, they're high caliber, so anything's possible with mods. You just have to make that all work. Falcon, fun fact, Stalker Ops are actually going to be possible now because a new wave of mods came out that fixed a lot of the ACE compatibility stuff. So like PDAs work and shit now. So I might also get back into that, but there's 2 campaigns I want to do first, and that's going to take me a few months. So maybe for the summer, but again, big emphasis on the maybe. All right, I'm going to, since they're actually starting to attack the airfield, if you see back here, I've got, I think 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 7 Hornets left, so. But yeah, no, throughout the campaign, all of these helipads represented a Hornet, and then I had some helipads in other places that also had Hornets, and I've just been keeping track of how many they've been shooting down and whatnot. Yeah, so that Warthog's probably going to get dicked, but, you know.
Such is life.
Such is life.
Times Hornets.
Yeah, again, that delayed cook-off of the Warthogs. I'm not the biggest fan of it personally, but oh god, Skelly's on fire. Stop, drop, and roll, man. It works. That's the funniest thing I noticed is stop, drop, and roll with that fucking Ace Fire stuff actually works, and it's the funniest thing.
Yeah. Delta, does anyone have any AA capabilities, possibly?
Ooh, slash if a nice shot.
Yeah, sometimes after they do their one airstrike on the Vic, they'll then, like, you know, hold position for a second. That's where the player base gets them. I'm trying to have the other one coordinate around. Slushy's probably going to get that hit because it's flying in a straight line.
Delta,
nope, it went right under. Here's another one. It gets it. Yeah, because the AI really like to fly in straight lines. Getting Tank Hunter booping these Vics. And some dismounts from the Rex, but yeah, they're gunned down. Now I'm just going to have some QRF come out from the dock area. And then all these towers, I got my marksman kits, but I didn't want the marksman to be too accurate. Fun fact, if you put a scope on a AI, the AI will statistically be more accurate regardless of the scope type. So if you notice, actually, a lot of the units I have marked as marksman, I took the scope away because I noticed they're just really pinpoint. Even at 4%, you're noticing they still make a lot of their hits. So if I put a scope on them, on average, I noticed that they made a lot more of those hits more often, but it's more cinematic to, you know, have units fire at you and occasionally hit you rather than dome you in the face every time. That's one of the newer changes I've made to building my kits, and in the future, I might actually make that change for certain things, and then, you know, for snipers and whatnot, then I'll put the scopes, because snipers in this campaign, you know, with that freaking 14.5mm can also, like, literally disable Warthogs in one shot, so.
Taking contact from the main compound at the harbor. Now,
again, the only reason they're doing so well is because they're keeping their cohesion so solid. If they ran off and separated and tried to do multiple objectives with individual squads, we would see a much different result, because that's just how these guys play.
Infantry force coming in from the south. Seems to be a squad or two.
So I'm deleting everything behind them to keep the frames good. Also, we're on the southern side of the map. I've noticed the northern half of the map is the really laggy one. Also, New Delphi is also really laggy, but this is all like open because it's an airstrip, so it's actually not that bad. Also, we still had a squad in the facility, so I've actually deleted them, and I'm going to spawn them behind them to attack them from the rear. If they make it there in time, they make it there in time, because sometimes the player base will outmaneuver whatever you send at them, which is good. They should be doing that, but let's see if we can catch them being slow and methodical here. Oh my god, Zam, no, you're not re-scripting the damn missile stuff.
Before I fucking shoot you.
Yeah, they shouldn't be using AT on infantry. They need to be saving that because there's a lot of stuff. But then again, I think they also do have HEAT, but still. They should be keeping as much as they can, as much of it as they can, so.
Rockets. That's my status.
Here.
Yeah, and you can still kill the
Slushy.
What?
Backpack. AT.
I know, you can put an M1A2 through, but there's not really any vehicles for them to fight in any of the Star Trek mods yet. Otherwise, I would do a small armor-only op that's Stargate-themed. Trust me. There's a lot of things I want to do with Stargate, but there's limitations within the mod because Stargate is one of my favorite things. Now, if we had Star Trek mods, though, I would literally push everything aside to make a Star Trek campaign, all right? If we had Star Trek mods, that would be my focus. That would be my primary freaking focus.
Alpha's pushing.
Copy that, Alpha. Charlie's also starting push in a second.
Am I going to do another charity op? Yeah, probably around May. I'm letting it kind of space out, and then we'll do some more humanitarian stuff. But if you also look, I mean, there's a lot of Ukraine charity stuff going on, which I'm really happy to see. But how do I put it? The one drawback about charity stuff, though, is it does dip into, you know, like pay-for-pain revenue, too, so I gotta be mindful about that, because since YouTube is in the crapper right now, I gotta rely on a few other sources of revenue, so I can at least eat every week, you know? But yeah, oh yeah, Star Trek. Phase rifles, baby. Cardassian border war. I'd be all over that. Yeah, we need to make an Only Goats page. You're absolutely right. Oh, what am I thinking? Wombat, you ready to go?
Yep, I'm good.
Alright. How'd you get that?
What, get what?
The backpack.
Oh, am I not supposed to have a backpack?
No, but this is only for loading a kit if you saved one previously.
Oh, okay. No, okay, I see.
If you didn't have a kit to save, then just respawn and I'll teleport you in.
I just put some
okay.
magazines and stuff.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Cool. 1 second.
I'm good.
This is Bravo. Are you guys gonna take out the docks or not?
Yes, we have to, unless we have to, unless you want to get fucked in the ass when we push on.
Yeah, that makes sense. We're gonna clear out the southeast, northeast.
Yeah, unless you want to get fucked in the ass when you push in. Oh yeah, that makes sense. This community, I swear to God. Yeah, that makes sense. I love them to death, but good God, like, the logic, the damn logic escapes me sometimes.
Skelly's been interesting.
Yeah, Skelly has always been interesting this entire campaign, so... yeah, oh, actually, no, that's really smart. Because I was going to bring in QRF, and that's going to stop the QRF. Huh. I'm going to reward him with that. I'm going to bring it a little early, but then I don't even have to worry about it. So let's go ahead, get something in there. amazing. Also, I fixed my tracers, guys, so you can see them again.
Behind you.
This should be good because I have a machine gun flanking the entire player base here. And he's got a rocket on it. There we go.
Okay, thank you.
But yeah, look at all those bandages back there. Good God.
They picked an interesting point to attack.
Did you hear Card? He ragdolled off of it. You just hear him yell F off as he tumbles. Oh. Oh, that's beautiful.
Hey, we killed an armored vehicle.
Anyone else?
So sometimes I'll like take my itinerary of what I have planned for the op and I'll do it earlier or later depending on what the player base does. So in that one example, because they mined the thing early and they still had units there, I mean, just sending that QRF earlier will, you know, get that done. Also, if you notice, though, look at the one squad that ran off on their own. I think they have their medics still alive, but they got absolutely dicked by forces, that one squad coming up. So as I said earlier, once they start separating, they're going to start dying, and that's exactly what seems to have happened.
Bravo, Charlie, Delta, status.
I was very curious as to why they decided to take the completely open flank up.
Because they're TSB.
What's the situation?
True.
I don't know, I'm asking other people. I don't know what everyone else is doing. I feel like everyone else is dying.
I mean, yeah, the smart thing would have been to, you know, hit the dock instead of the open area, but some people want to question that, so we're going to have like 4 or 5 casualties here, so.
I'm fairly sure Bravo SL was the first to die, so there goes our comms probably as well.
Yep. Skelly's down. Slushy's getting shot at here.
Yeah, single survivor is going to be the medic.
Yep. And I haven't, you know, changed the, whatchamacallit, the percentiles of the skill and whatnot. It's just, you know, if they want to go through a massive open area, there's a reason that's a bad idea, so. Yeah, no.
It's interesting, didn't even get one casualty on the enemy.
Charlie made it inside of the port, currently in between the 2 white buildings.
So she's working on Skelly. He's going to have to call for someone to come back there, because those two, I mean, even though they did a great job with the mines, they're still on their own, so.
Yeah, and they're about to get pushed by the looks of it.
Yeah, by the remains of that one squad that was bypassed. Slashy might get shot at by the 3 here.
Well, even if he gets past, the issue is he's a lot of open room to get to friendly forces.
Yeah. That's the issue when you know, run off and start doing your own thing. You're gonna get scuffed, and that's what happened.
But whoever's alive, get to the fucking port.
There's more outside east.
Alright, they have access to the AAVIX now. I'm gonna put some remaining Hornets in the air.
All units is Charlies, we have friendlies on the battle
is
center
taking some
of
friendly
compound.
fire, I believe.
No, 10 up.
Oh no!
Oh my god, Sparkflow's freaking out.
Kill the fucking enemies east.
And so Slushy dealt with all those contacts.
There's a nice bit of cover literally 2-3 meters away, yet he's medicing right in the open.
Yeah, that's another thing a lot of people don't realize is dragging people into cover instead of just doing it right in the open. Oh dear.
Ooh, that must have hurt. Oh, that did hurt.
Yeah, that's just poor timing, unfortunately. And so they got one with one of the AA Vics, other one's flying around. Thankfully, there is a medic nearby. There's 2 medics nearby to deal with that mass cas that was created.
Yeah, Slashy has been smart and closed the gate behind him.
That is quite smart.
Bravo Charlie, what was it about your mass gas? How are you doing?
Now the question is, can Demandra shoot that aircraft down before the aircraft locks on and hits them with AGM?
Yeah.
Based on how that Vic's flying, I think he's gonna get the kill before he can get destroyed, so that's good. Here's the pitch.
We are to the east of the port.
Ooh, Karn.
Copy, Charlie will probably not be able to assist you there.
Where did Karn die? I thought he was gonna be fine. Huh.
Was there other people hitting the compound?
I mean, that explosion shouldn't have killed him. I don't know what got him there.
Yourselves dead from trying to fill up. You see 2 bodies working on a lot by the green containers right now.
That's hard to believe, though, because it was just a vehicle explosion. He shouldn't have had that many wounds on him. Weird.
So we can send our medics.
It looks like they prioritized dragging them into cover rather than working on them.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense, but I mean, when you're in the middle of friendlies and just a Vic exploded, you just have to drag them away from the Vic. You don't have to drag them into cover.
Yeah. Like Tank Tank was in the same spot. If they can save him, they should have been able to save the other 2.
Yeah. Alright, Skelly's putting more mines down. I'll probably spawn the second thing of reinforcements I have and have them get blown up by those mines later, but I'm gonna let them push. So, I mean, they're within the victory condition of this campaign, but, I mean, I still have another, like, 5 or 6 squads to spawn here, but they need to find a way to get up in the open, and that's gonna be the toughie here. Because we still do have a squad out here as well.
They might have just lost a little bit too much on the number side.
Yeah, because they had that entire squad run out and get killed, so...
Yeah, their whole overwhelmed by brute force won't work as much.
They should keep their AA Vics, though, that they got. Those are going to be the pinnacle of taking out whatever it takes off to fight them, you know?
Yeah.
Speaking of, I have 2 fun things I can take off. 1 second. Go.
Alpha, this is Charlie. How are you going? How is it doing?
You also have an issue that 2 of the 3 squad leads are
guys will currently regrouping now. Will be combat active shortly.
Roger that. Bravo, this is Charlie. How's it going?
Bravo is currently north of the port.
Roger that. Once you're ready, get in here and get yourself situated.
The 2 ICs have to step up, you know?
Preparing the push towards
something that TSB is
main objective.
Copy.
This is Alpha. I recommend we push along the coastline. It appears that the bunkers that we can use to bound from.
fast mover in the sky.
Where is it? Someone give me a guy.
Oh, they're getting the AA out.
Yeah, I'm watching him.
Skelly's going out. He's getting them spread out. Hey,
Seems to
hobo.
have a little bit of an issue with it flying overhead.
This is Alpha, we're moving west.
Yeah, so I deliberately also only chose the gun pod versions because the missile ones, again, AGMs are a little tough to deal with.
One away.
Here we go. That's one down.
Roger that, Alpha. Charlie's currently taking care of the fast movers.
This is Charlie. This is Alpha, good copy. This is Alpha, we've secured the first bunker, we're waiting on the other squads.
Yeah, copy. Charlie will make our way over to you once we've taken care of that last fast mover.
There goes the second.
Fast mover down, good shots.
Fast movers are, oh, you're asking what is specifically? It's called a Wombat drone. It's something to, unique to the UNSC mod, or the Optrait mod. F-99 Wombat. They're meant to be, drones, UAVs.
Cool ones, the rocket.
My Chud's pointing out a really interesting point, which I also did put down as an offer for them if they wanted to take it, but there aren't boats, and they could take the 2 boats and, you know, get right on top of parts of the airbase if they wanted to, or they could go all the way around, all the way to the southeastern corner, and then breach in from there if they wanted to.
Yeah.
But again, it's all about what they perceive and what they want to do based off of those perceptions.
They're taking the best approach, but even with that, there's a lot of open area to try to cross.
Yeah. Now they're trying to use the AA Vix as anti-infantry Vix. That's going to be risky. And yeah, Luxie already got shot in the face for that one.
This is Cushion. Bravo Charlie, this is Alpha, what's your ETA? I'm getting to the...
Now again, bounding bunker to bunker isn't a bad idea. I am going to have a squad probably come down to that corner in a second, but it's risky, you know, because you got to mix a lot of smoke and, you know, cover and concealment.
So ETA?
This is Bravo. You must need to have your boat together. Oh, wait. I think Skelly heard you. He has found a boat.
Yeah, we'll see what they decide to do.
Bravo, once you're in position...
Did he abandon the AA victim for the boat?
I believe he did, because no squad wants to take the boat. I mean, they don't know that there's only a few planes left, but again, it's that security, but also the fear of, you know, outright getting AGM'd, and this is all open area, so there's not really a lot of good places to take it, so... I understand why they don't want to use the AA Vix. Here, I'm gonna give him a little treat. I need a tank.
This is Alpha, we're moving out to the next bunker.
Copy that, Alpha. Charlie will cover you far off the way, then we start moving ourselves.
Copy.
Bravo is in 1 times boat. We're gonna try and deal with the southeast.
So I opened the fucking gate and that triggered the mine, so my freaking debugging you freaking CSAT unit just flew. So they're calling it out that it got blown up by, but that's funny. Oh, that was funny. Sorry, Subby. They're 18 their own boat!
Mind, I just said on the radio the Bravo's dicking about.
It's awful 1-1.
Oh! Did they miss it or did they actually hit? Okay, they missed, thank God. Oh my God, that was great.
Hey, boat crew, the turrets are looking at you, so be careful.
I did.
Yeah, so if you double click on those sight turrets, I took the ammo out, because again, they will more than likely tick that boat down.
Charlie, this is Alpha, we'll wait on you at the second bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're about
Gonna delete the AI at the checkpoint to enter these compounds, just for frames. Whew. One hell of a mine clear, yeah, right?
Want me to do that?
Yeah, right, oh devil.
Ooh, that...
They're using AT to snipe the towers, but it wasn't low enough. Here, I'm gonna return in kind though.
I thought that was at the first set turrets there, but no.
Right, Charlie, can you use your rocket?
Rockets incoming, get down.
Charlie, we are starting to use rockets on the battle tower.
So the only reason I did that, because they did it to that tower, and that guy on top had a rocket launcher. He's like, ah, fuck it, I can do it back.
Tower to the southeast, southeast.
They're going for the other one.
And now they're using the AA rockets. Actually, I think just blew up one of the battle towers. Yeah, I mean, good call. AI's still up in there, though.
Copy. There's another battle tower to the southeast.
They're also going to get pinched between these two squads that are pushing.
161.
Yeah. I guess for the sake of, because that boat's there, I'm going to spawn in the remaining 5 squads I have in this AO.
So, can they actually breach in through this wall is the question.
No, but they can climb over it. Oh, see, this is why I like Skelly. He just, you know, I told you where to go, and now he's there. I don't know if he's someone stream sniping, but, you know, it's kind of suspicious. Usually TSB isn't that effective.
Yeah, the only other issue is he's only 5 bodies with him, so any bit of badness at all, he could be in trouble.
But the one benefit they do have, though, is all of the AI are going to be focusing... Because I try to do this realistically in the eyes of an enemy commander. So he perceives a threat right now to the north. So where are all of his forces going to be defending against right now?
Yeah,
the north.
Force pushing. And for all they know, it was a friendly boat retreating from the dock here that they saw.
Stand on the trench. Yeah.
So Skelly's saying they're going to build a trench then stand on the trench because they tried demoing that. Now, I did hear that one explosion, so I am going to pull a force back to try to check out what's going on.
Copy. Are the northern AA batteries down?
Send in Goat Team 6.
One is
But I don't know where specifically that explosion was, but, you know.
Copy.
Drunk Firebear, thanks for getting a sub to Zam. Hope you keep enjoying the operations. I do hope you get a nice kick out of the scenario.
Skelly's requesting a ladder.
We don't have ladders, though.
How's it going?
We have the tactical backpack ladders.
Yeah, but we didn't, like, the whole point of this campaign was they crashed landed on the planet, you know?
I could get on.
True.
Now they're trying to get on top of Skelly.
Yeah.
Alright, Charlie.
See, if they just ride the wall to the west, they'll eventually be able to get around, but...
Push over the runway, we're going to continue south along the beach line.
The issue with this is they're going to have to leave a man behind.
Copy that, Alpha. You lead the way.
Copy.
I guess we're just too short.
They're too short.
The human ladder.
This is Alpha, we're moving out now. Support us, Charlie.
Right, take it down.
They've taken up 2 of the turrets that
Wait, look at him! Look at him!
Got another, he's gonna take bottom 1.
Look at this bullshit! Look at this bullshit that they're coming up with!
No,
oh no, they only took out 1.
They only took out 1!
This is Bravo. We're taking out one of the southeastern
Oh my
battery
God.
pieces, moving on to the second one at the moment.
You need just a single AI waiting for that head to pop back over the
Yeah, no, I'm trying to have that southernmost squad come around, but they're too... I don't even know. I'm going to respawn them. Oh my god, they... Oh!
I'll move to the
He's gonna fall and pull the trigger.
If he falls and pulls the trigger and blows them all up, I'm gonna laugh my ass off.
Charlie, are you gonna be able to have to get eyes on the middle AA position?
Back to the
Charlie, we just moved up to you. We took care of the two guns behind the first ones we killed.
I'll be right back.
Not sure about the next ones.
Y'all are fucking trolls and I love you. I love you. Keep playing.
Crossing off the fucking things we've destroyed.
I had to congratulate him for that. I'm sorry. Just told y'all are fucking trolls and I love you. That was well deserved, well earned. But I mean, that's a creative way to do it. That's part of what I illustrated to you. That is a strategy, and if you think about doing the op that way, then yeah, I'd actually appreciate something like that because then I have to make the AOs tougher, and then I learn as a Zeus, they learn as players, and we all just get better at this game and create even crazier content. You know?
Yeah, all that you do now is do the same on the south with the runway and take out 4 more.
Yeah, I mean, from the southern side, they can take out the, I think, 6 remaining. There's only 2 more on the other side there, but they can just, you know, continue that strategy.
And here they go.
Bravo, this is Alpha. Can you mark the... never mind, I see it.
Alright, so now I have to redeploy some of my infantry here to try to counter them.
Send in Goat Team 6 now. Send in Goat Team 6 now.
Charlie, my guys are
So I'm trying to scramble some pilots to those Vics as well.
Copy,
yeah.
Squad northeast.
Silent Knight, thanks for 5 gift subs. If you got a sub from Silent Knight, make sure you thank him. Otherwise, I hope you all keep enjoying the operations. I do hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario.
Take out
Send
the
in
AA
Goat
position
Team
from here or no?
6 now.
I can also start getting my Makos out. Stand by.
Let's go with a no for now. I still have to get my big crew up and running.
Okay.
Enemy drone taken off, enemy drone taken off.
So the reason I'm respawning them is because they, you have better control when you respawn them. As you saw with the other drone, the Wombat, it wasn't giving me the engine control.
Second enemy drone taken off, going north.
That's dead.
Second one, going north on the runway now.
Copy.
In the sky.
Take it out if you can.
Let's give him a warm welcome, shall we?
They're back on that machine gun. So I heard them say they blew up the first one. Go ahead, delete that.
It's to the west.
Understood. Copy that. Understood. On the way.
Alright, so we have 2 of the Hornets taken off now.
Just shot down the second drone.
Mm-hmm. But see, now that like they're close to those Hornets, I can, you know, I have to spawn a pilot and have the pilot like dynamically run over and get in it. Ooh, they shot at some of the Hornet there, took damage. I saw a blood splatter. They're just not leading the rest of those shots. That boat is now a bit of a kill target there.
Yep.
The other one I think is going to get AA'd by the Northern Vic they brought. They're actually digging around it instead, not on the AA, so it might be out of ammo.
I don't know.
Get on that warthog and take out the Hornets. It's gonna fuck up your warthog.
11% left on it.
Can't do right now because Warthog is getting focused by an enemy.
No, they can't do it because the Warthog's getting fired at by the squad to the north. Oh, that boat is so dead. Here comes the missile.
Ooh, an ergo smirk.
Third Hornet lifting. You're unable to do anything about it at Bravo.
Took out the other one though.
Slashy might have a rocket solution on it. It might go right under. It went right under. Now it's firing at the ground infantry.
Yeah.
They gotta hide under stuff.
Another Hornet taken off.
Alright, now I can also start having infantry squads coming from the north as if they're reinforcements. There's no more mines, so I'm just going to have them walk in as if they're treating that checkpoint as a dismount position.
There's a single rifleman that's been suppressing the AVIC that's stopped.
Yeah, right.
What's the situation?
Oh, AVIC got hit.
Yeah, they did lose one of the Vics. Some might be running back to go get that other AA Vic, though, but they're going to have to deal with that rifleman. I do like how they've been bounding. They've gotten most of these turrets down. Then you have the southern group, these 5 guys here, still a bit pinned, especially because of the AA Vic. Slashy just took a round to the face. He's firing with ground fire. Oh, the chat.
Fuck you.
Well, with him firing at the Hornet as well, I don't know if they have any AT left.
Any other squad lead up?
Yeah, these are the last 2 Hornets of the campaign, so...
Alpha 3 I see on net.
We need to see some momentum, because if they continue to stay slow, eventually QRF from the north is going to overwhelm them.
It might be better to start pushing into the compound on the airfield.
They do have a bit of a lull to work with, but again, this 5-man team to the south has to be incredibly careful and cautious, and the northern team has to find a solution to get into the compound because it's still a lot of open ground.
Yeah,
yeah, but he said he was out of ammo, apparently. Which is a lie, because I still see the rocket pod on the actual warhead itself, so I think he has one more, but... Yeah, he's getting strafed.
Also, fuck those fucking... This is bullying.
Slushy apparently is disliking the fact he's being bullied. Well, the only reason they're focusing on him is AI will also focus on things that are a threat to them. So, for example, he has the rocket launcher, so they're going to focus on him for having the rocket launcher.
He's also the one in the open that they can see.
Mm-hmm. So OSH also has a launcher out, and I think he made one of them flare by trying to get a lock, but otherwise... we just gotta wait for the infantry to come down. I'll probably spawn 2 or 3 squads every 5-10 minutes to just trickle down, and I'll slowly increase the amount of squads that come in.
Yeah, I feel they might be slightly on the back foot at the moment unless this makes a push to get in.
Copy. Once my squad's good to go, we're gonna start moving along the coast to the next bunker.
Copy, Charlie's all up. Gonna get ready to move, finishing up the last tanks.
Yeah, one of them is lining up perfectly on Slashy.
Yeah.
Alright, Alpha,
Great.
Charlie will follow you on your call.
Chris, let's go. Copy. Alpha's moving out.
Alright, let's get moving.
Alright, now we're seeing them charge in. They're going to move to the next bunker. Really, they need to hit... Oh, wait. No. Why do we have one squad going one way, one squad going the other? That's the worst thing they can do right now.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
All my guys are telling me there's an enemy squad further southeast.
All right, 6 minutes at 1:30. I'm going to, indicated by the top left clock, I'm going to spawn in 3 squads, have them trickle down, and every 10 minutes we're just going to increase it by 1 infantry squad.
Yeah, I have a feeling, I think it's Bravo's group of the smoke, they're going to start getting pinned by the QRF.
Yeah. It's just they're separating too much and getting dicked. That's going to be the unfortunate thing here. That southern group's going to stay pinned by those 2 buzzards until the northern groups can get closer and ATM.
Yeah, now, they have a good defensive position, so as long as they can keep their heads in and stay smart, it should be fine.
Well, they do have the AA Vic coming as well.
There's another one that needs taken out.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, no, is that close enough?
Do you think?
Giving me hope today, too, that you wouldn't show up, sir.
It's just gonna spontaneously blow up.
That's decent, I'd say, Liru.
Yeah, I already called it.
Probably so will we, because we're fine still. The Hornet. Yeah. No, I'm not.
Check in.
No, I'm still here.
Okay. All right, looks like it passed. Disseminate yourselves down, and hopefully we should be okay.
Righto.
That was one guy, and a few people got injured.
Okay then, that was weird. No, I'm right behind you.
Oh, really?
He might be head bugged. I respawned your Vic, just getting that, and that should override it. There he is. Yeah, there's still a little bit of decent because, you know, someone DOSed in the server. Not much we can do about that.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Yep.
Fucking Russians.
So, you know, this is why I gave that disclaimer in the beginning. We're just working through it, you know?
Alpha is fixing up after desync.
From what I can see, no one is majorly down.
Yeah.
Disconnects.
Roger, Charlie will stand by in the first AA side and wait for you guys to get yourselves figured out.
Yeah, so Subby, for example, will have to teleport him back, but yeah, it's not hard. Or no, it wasn't Subby, it was Sparkflow, my bad. Yeah, you set? I'll just teleport you to the body. Yep.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, be advised, TS is probably going to be flacking out. Usually there's a follow-up attack anywhere from, like, immediately to within 30 minutes, so just play on and let's see what we can get.
Charlie, boss mark.
Hello.
It's been funny. Just tracking the issue, where it goes, where it starts up. There's a certain timetable to it. Doesn't really matter. One of the gunships crashed. No, it crashed because the AA Vic actually still fired at it and destroyed it. So I'm not going to respawn that.
Yeah, after the Charlie, yeah, we just decided on the shortest route, dealing with a squad of infantry to our direct east. And after
Standing
that, we
here,
on this
I
airfield.
realize you were just like me, trying to make history. I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself.
So, interestingly, they're hitting the tower with all their AT rather than the 2 turrets right in front of it.
Yeah. They might be having an issue telling which ones are working and which ones aren't. Here, I need to send a message to someone, see if they can do something for the team speed. Look, I think it's funny.
Charlie, our rocket talk is engaging the
Therefore,
next AA site.
Copy the one with the circle, correct?
yeah, if you want to join for the debrief table, feel free.
Charlie, this is
If it works, you know. I use the AA to destroy the AAA. Now, Slushy just went down, I think, to crossfire on the left, so... No, it's a marksman in that tower.
I think Skelly's going for the manual option.
This is Alpha. The middle AA tower has been taken out.
Copy that, Alpha.
Yeah, we know. Is Bravo up there?
Cool.
Marksman far tower south.
I'll give you the ones.
Yeah, they just built the one south.
I will say this though, if you spend a few years, you know, working with a community, you build trust with them, you're open with them about your Zeusing, what you do to them, you don't try to maliciously do anything negative to them without their permission, they'll work wonders for you. I mean, I know some communities where a server gets DDoS, like half the community will just stop playing, but here, you know, it doesn't really do anything. People just keep playing, they'll reconnect, and I'll put them right back where they were. It just doesn't affect anything.
Can't pose it correctly, Mark.
Just goes, yeah?
Once we finish looking our wounds, we'll stop.
Ouch.
And Grim is still working.
Yeah, well, so Slushy got picked off by the marksman, but that group's all kind of breaking away, so... Oh, there they go, follow-up attack.
Copy.
They seem to be focusing more on the TeamSpeak today rather than the Arma server, which is interesting. That's more, you know, Bjorn's territory, but whatever.
Yeah. Also, their AA Vic has 1 crewman down.
That's unfortunate.
And it's quite isolated as well. Anyway. Did you send in your
Charlie, our
reinforcement
rocket
squad?
got taken out.
No, I have not. I was letting the desync clear, but you're right. I need to send them in. Stand by.
To what you're doing right now.
We're gonna secure this Pelican, and we can fight from there.
Roger.
Copy, get to the building, get to the cover. Straight to the Pelican.
Slushy, there was a marksman up here that was enemy. I think that's the one that got you.
Wait a minute.
Did you die, or who were you with?
I lost connection.
Okay. Who are you with?
I was with Slushy, Skelly, and...
Okay, stand by.
Yeah.
Move up on the spawn close, coming close to see northeast.
Cool. Yeah, so it looks like one of the crewmen died for that. They're pushing across. They're blowing up some of the standby Vics. We only have 3 more AA turrets that need to be destroyed. Here, let me deal with pygmies.
Oh no, I died fast, so fast!
Oh, did you die?
Yeah, somehow. I got shot by a sniper like 2 times and I just black.
Sorry, man.
Alpha, we're waiting on you. We've secured 1 Pelican. We'll defend it until you guys get here.
Charlie just entered the hangar.
Alright, they've
to
got
your north,
everything. There's still one AA site.
along the back
Oh,
of the
fucking.
hangars.
I have to delete it.
All AA's down.
Because that would be unfair. Because I didn't mark that one.
Charlie confirms we will clear out the hangars first, and then gather up for
Gag. Alright, well, nope, I just deleted that because that would be completely unfair if there was an unmarked site. And though hint at there might be more, you know? That is an issue on my end, and you should never punish the players for issues you as the Zeus or mission maker make, so.
If that's a gun, you can support us.
Oh no, Slash, we're having someone's DOSing the servers again. They're probably going to try again in about 20 minutes. From what I've noticed in the pattern, they hit it once, and then it's another 20 to 30 minutes, and they hit it again. At a random interval when we start streaming, so it's just someone that just sees I'm streaming and then already has the servers pre-targeted, and then just, you know, hits a button. But yeah, no, it's TSB, so. Lamau. Worst comes to worst, we already have some backup servers set up, and we're going to keep the IPs in-house, and, you know, if you keep them in-house, then they can't get access to them. And if they do, cool, we'll just set up another one. It literally only takes us, like, an hour, and I can run it in the background while I'm working on other stuff, so it doesn't really cost me anything. Except just some file transfer protocols in the background. That's it.
Copy, mount up, mount up, mount up, mount
Someone
up.
would care enough to DDoS. I'm honored by it personally, Fireball.
Tell you guys to hurry up and mount up.
To me, it's whatever. If they want to keep hitting the servers, I just go, okay, cool, bet. I just DM everyone on Discord and go, all right, here's the new TeamSpeak, here's the new IP, this is what we're doing today. Or I get everyone in the previous TeamSpeak and I go, all right, here are the IPs we're playing on today, guys. Have fun. Don't stream them. And in case they do, cool. Just takes me literally an hour to set up another one in the background. I don't give a fuck.
Charlie, all mounted. Let's get out of here.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little impressed that they didn't screw up any of the takeoffs. I mean, Skelly's was already out there, but the other one, they actually had to, you know, pull out of the hangar. Half expecting them to screw that up.
This is Charlie, we're out.
Skelly's having some fun.
Alpha, we're out.
Mm-hmm.
All Pelicans, straight.
Jesus Christ. Skelly, I love how you literally had 3 squads under you, and you missed every single one of them with that barrage.
I don't he hit some of the reinserts. He hit your QRF coming in.
Alpha and Charlie are entering orbit.
Alright. Skelly Angie. Building your own server, if you build it off of Linux or Unix, I mean, you're fine.
Oh, people!
Alright.
That was fun. I love that.
I'm proud of you, Luxy. You survived.
I'm sorry.
No, I was
Nice chat's been down there. Thanks, Evic. I appreciate it. Alright, so, going through the list of things, yeah. Good campaign. When you stuck together, you all survived and you steamrolled. When you started breaking apart, you started getting your butts kicked. There was one more AA position. It wasn't marked on the map, so that's my bad. So I just deleted it because, you know, I didn't even hint that there'd be another one. I made it clear after the campaign, you know, we went to their battle net. We should have had all their positions marked, so I didn't want to punish you for my mistake. But I just want to let you know that I made that goof. But otherwise, did well. I appreciated watching the adaptation, especially with Skelly, you know, planting mines to stop QRF, taking a boat and getting his guys around to flank and climb on top of each other to snipe them from outside the compound. It was smart stuff. And then, you know, some squads tried to run out in massive open areas and they got immediately picked off by snipers. So keep that in mind. Otherwise, hope you had fun. If you didn't, feel free to bash me in the feedback. But next campaign is going to be Vietnam mod set. in Argentina with the Liru's add-on mods for the map. I'll get into more details next week when I do the op announcement, but it's going to be a really cool one that I've been waiting to do for years. So, yeah. Let's just go by squad leaders, and I'll put feedback up. Give me a second.
Take a chance not here. Well, we Alpha did shit. Khan got fucked by, I don't remember what. Alright, the airstrike at the docks.
Oh, it stopped because Bjorn blocked the IPs.
And they led the assault down the coast. Didn't lose anyone after I became 20, and everyone escaped to my squad except for Khan and Hoper. Bravo, maybe? Oh, you guys did good in my squad, Alpha. No, I guess Bravo's not going. Charlie.
Yeah, followed more or less the other squad's lead. Reason for that is I don't squad lead usually. I just did it because we only had 3 people at the beginning of the op, so someone had to, you know, take care of that. Did well. I tried to play it a little bit more defensive, try to get everybody out of there, which we did except for Big. He died to Hornet-induced shenanigans.
I died honorably.
Or something else. I don't know. Didn't really got to listen to that. But yeah, everybody did good. Didn't spend all the time looting. So yeah, good work.
All right. Bear with 1 second. All right, we might be back later for Potluck. I might be back later for DayZ streaming. I'm just going to now do some book work and some editing because I'm a little behind on my editing and look into what that attack was. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. Go operate operation. Enjoy the rest of your day or night. Cheers, and have a good one.